What's going on, people, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions for Game Week 18 coming up thick and fast. Starting tomorrow night then, we've got Crystal Palace versus Brighton. I actually fancy Palace for this one. They're at home, they've got Eze back, they've got Elise back, and if they both play and play enough minutes, even though Brighton are decent, they've got a lot of injuries at the moment and extra football with the Europa stuff going on, so I personally feel like Palace could get something from the game because of those factors. So I'm going to go with Palace and I'm going to go 2-1. Friday then, we've got Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. Villa on a fine run at the moment. I could see it continuing, to be honest. Against Sheffield United, I think arguably the worst team in the league. At home, Villa, I feel like nothing but 3 points. 4-0 to Aston Villa. West Ham versus Manchester United then on Saturday to kick off Saturday's games. Not feeling confident about it, if I'm honest. I feel like Bowen's in fine form, Kudus is in fine form, Paqueta. I think they're going to cause us a lot of problems, and I don't see us getting anything from the game, if I'm honest. At West Ham, see a West Ham win. Go 2-0 West Ham. Fulham versus Burnley. Fulham just knocking out Everton, obviously, in the Carabao last night on penalties. They're in okay form in the league. Jimenez is now banned, which is going to hurt them a bit because he was in good form. But I still feel like they could still get something from games, even with him missing. And against Burnley, I still fancy them, even with Jimenez out. So at home, I'm going to go 1-0 Fulham. Luton versus Newcastle. I actually have gone for a draw in this one. I feel like Newcastle obviously crashing out last night when they had the advantage against Chelsea and crashing out. Crashed out of Europe recently as well. Kieran Trippier has fallen to pieces in the last 3 or 4 games I've seen him play. Cost the game last night, really, for Newcastle. And their confidence is just going to be at an all-time low at the moment. And going to Luton, who have obviously just had all the stuff with Tom Lockyer happen, they're going to be fired up. And at home, even with their captain missing, they're going to want to get him point and get wins for him in dedication to him. So I think Luton, if they don't get a win, will at least get a point from the game. And I'm going for a draw, and I'm going to go 1-1. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. Now, I think Forest have made a huge mistake getting rid of Steve Cooper. I think it's harsh. I don't think there's going to be anyone that's going to come in and do a better job or even the same level as Cooper was doing. They've just brought Nuno in, the old Wolves guy and Tottenham coach. I don't hate Nuno, but he's not going to do a better job than Cooper for me. So I think it's a mistake. I think Forest will regret it. It's Bournemouth, who are a team in form and high on confidence. I'm going with Bournemouth. 2-1 Bournemouth. Tottenham versus Everton. Going with a draw in this one. I feel like Everton are high on confidence, as are Tottenham. I feel like they cancel each other out. It'll be a pretty exciting game, but I do think they'll share the point. So I'm going to go 2-2. Liverpool versus Arsenal then in the biggest game of the weekend, and could be a title decider. I know it's still a lot of games to go and City are still in with a shout. But I think at the moment it is definitely between these two teams for the title. I think it's going to be a tight one. It could go either way. I don't think it'll be a draw. I do think one of the teams will win. I've gone with a home team, 1-0 Liverpool. And then on Sunday, to finish off Game Week 18, we've got Wolves versus Chelsea. I've gone for a draw. I feel like Wolves being at home can cause Chelsea problems. Chelsea obviously going through in the Carabao last night against Newcastle, so they're coming to this one with a bit more confidence than they would have had originally, even though they're away. But I do feel like Wolves could cause them problems, and I feel like there's not a lot between the two teams. So I feel like they share the spoils. I'm going to go 1-1. So that is it for this week's Game Week predictions, guys. Game Week 18. Let me know yours in the comments. Who's your team got? Do you fancy their chances? And I'll be back soon. Catch you soon.